The story begins with Max talking to his friend, complaining about how single he is. He spends all his time working, eating, and sleeping, and doubts he'll ever find the girl of his dreams. Even if he does, he isn't sure how he'd handle it. Frustrated, he points out that even someone as clueless as his friend has a girlfriend, while he remains alone. His friend Henry advises him to stay away from girls, warning that they'll mess with his head, break his heart, and ruin his life. The next day, Max and Henry are seen working in a college lab on a machine designed to create clones of any living creature using just a single drop of its blood. Meanwhile, Dr. Janus and his assistant, Derek, present their work to the college president, showcasing a cloned rat. They explain that by extracting a single drop of blood and processing it through their machine, they can create an identical twin. Impressed, the president praises their breakthrough, recognizing its potential to change the world and even pave the way for human cloning in the future. Dr. Janus is given all the credit, much to Max's frustration, as he was the one who actually built the machine. Annoyed, he vents to Henry, who dismisses his concerns and suggests he stop worrying about work and start focusing on having fun and meeting women. At that moment, their attention is drawn to a stunning girl named Brandy. Max is immediately smitten, convinced she's the one he's been dreaming of. Henry encourages him to go talk to her, but Max hesitates, doubting a girl like her would ever be interested in someone like him. He believes she would only date rock stars, while he's just a lab assistant. To his surprise, Brandy approaches him and expresses her interest in genetic science, asking if she can see his lab. Seeing this as his chance, Max eagerly agrees and takes her to the lab, showing her the cloned rat he created. As they talk, Brandy asks how long he's been working on such projects. Max explains that he has been fascinated by cloning since childhood, when he saw a cartoon featuring a machine that could create duplicates. That inspired him to pursue his own version of it. As their conversation continues, the rat unexpectedly bites Brandy, drawing blood. While searching for a bandage, they don't notice that a few drops of her blood fall onto the blood samples of other test animals. Max, hoping for a romantic moment, is disappointed when Brandy suddenly remembers she had plans with someone named Stoner. When Max asks if that's her brother, she laughs and reveals that Stoner is actually her boyfriend, a rock star. Just then, Stoner arrives, taking Brandy away, leaving Max heartbroken. He resigns himself to another lonely night. Later that night, while working in the lab, Max notices the blood sample that had been contaminated with Brandy's blood. Curious, he mixes it with the other samples before placing it inside the cloning machine, intending to create another rat. However, the machine begins malfunctioning, and suddenly, the entire lab goes dark. When the power returns, the machine's hatch opens on its own, and to Max's shock, a girl emerges from inside. Overwhelmed, he faints on the spot. A while later, when he regains consciousness, he wonders if he just imagined the whole thing. Max heard strange noises coming from the lab. When he went to investigate, he was shocked to find a completely naked woman sitting there, an exact duplicate of Brandy. Quickly offering her his lab coat, Max said gently, "Don't be scared, I won't hurt you." The woman stepped forward, revealing an uncanny resemblance to the real Brandy. "I'm Max," he said nervously. "And you're Martha?" When she made a face at the name, he suggested, "How about Brandy?" Her eyes lit up as she started bouncing around, chanting, "Brandy! Brandy!" with childlike excitement. Just then, Max heard Dr. Janus approaching. Thinking fast, he helped the clone escape through the window. When he checked outside later, he found only her discarded clothes. The new Brandy was wandering campus completely nude again. Max immediately called Henry to his place. "I messed up big time last night," he confessed. Henry panicked. "Please tell me you didn't break the cloning machine." "Worse," Max admitted. "I accidentally cloned Brandy." Henry refused to believe it until he saw the clone happily munching on xylophone keys like they were carrot sticks. "Holy shit, she's perfect!" Henry gasped. Max was sweating bullets. "If anyone finds out, I'm going to prison." Henry calmed him down. "Relax, dude. The real Brandy's in Europe for months. Until she's back, this is Brandy. We just need to teach her how to act human." Max explained her mind was a blank slate that could absorb years of knowledge in days. Henry's eyes gleamed with possibilities. "We'll program the perfect woman. Athletic, loves action movies, and very enthusiastic in bed." Their crash course in humanity began. Basic education through books and TV video games for entertainment. Toilet paper etiquette, newspapers work in a pinch. Essential reading, Dr. Janus is an ass, and always kick Derek. The joys of beer, which she took to immediately. That night as Max tucked her in, Brandy noticed his physical reaction. "That's my private area," Max stammered when she pointed. "Why growing?" she asked innocently. "It does that around pretty girls," he mumbled, before quickly retreating. Next morning, Max found Henry showing Brandy adult films. "Ah, the horsey ride," she observed clinically. "Exactly," Henry grinned. and we can ride anyone. When Brandy eagerly demanded to play, Henry volunteered but Max intervened. At the bar that evening, after downing a beer, Brandy announced, "Boring here. Let's go home for horsey rides." She'd learned new skills from the films, including sucking chocolate bar, which she promptly offered to demonstrate for every willing patron. Max rushed them home, where Brandy pulled him toward the bedroom, eager to practice her new knowledge. The morning after their intimate encounter, Brandy eagerly wanted to play horsey again, but Max gently refused. "I have to go to work," he said, leaving her at home. When he arrived at the lab, his blood ran cold. The real Brandy had unexpectedly returned from Europe. "What are you doing here?" Max stammered. "My stoner boyfriend dumped me," the real Brandy shrugged. "So I came back." Just then, Dr. Janus stormed in. "We have 3 days left to perfect our cloning demonstration for the scientists," he barked. "No one goes home until we succeed." Meanwhile, back at Max's apartment, the cloned Brandy was wreaking havoc, smashing furniture while mimicking action movies she'd watched. When Max returned that evening, he found his home in complete shambles. The next day at work, the real Brandy asked Max to lunch. Simultaneously, the clone, missing Max, called the lab. The real Brandy answered. "Max is having lunch with me," she said smugly. Furious, the clone stormed to the lab just as the real Brandy excused herself to the restroom. Slap! The clone smacked Max hard. "Who is this girl you're having lunch with?" she demanded. Max panicked. "She's just a co-worker. Nothing's going on between us." "Fine," the clone huffed. "Let's go home and play horsey then." When Max hesitated, she threatened, "Then I'll find another guy to play with." Terrified, Max quickly agreed. At home, as Brandy eagerly suggested their favorite game again, Max finally snapped. "All you care about is horsey games. Don't you ever think about what I want? Maybe I just want to talk sometimes." "Okay, let's talk then," Brandy said, before suddenly tackling him onto the bed. Just then, Max's phone buzzed with a voicemail from the real Brandy. "Who is she?" the clone roared. "Just a reporter," Max lied desperately. Unconvinced, she stormed out. Later in the lab, Dr. Janus delivered grim news. "We have 1 day left to successfully clone the mouse for our demonstration." Meanwhile, the clone confided in Henry. "Max must be cheating. He won't play horsey with me anymore." Henry feigned sympathy. "That's terrible. You deserve to play horsey every day. And you know what? Max is probably playing with someone else." Brandy's eyes narrowed. "If he can play with others, so can I." With that, she pounced on Henry. We see Jones, followed by Derek, who informs him that Max might have created a clone of Brandy. Derek explains that when Brandy went to Europe, he saw someone identical to her with Max. Hearing this, Dr. Jones urgently tells him to find the original, and the clone immediately. This could be a massive discovery for them. Meanwhile, we see Brandy's twin, who has entered a store to buy alcohol. Just then, Stoner arrives, apologizing to her for their breakup. He admits he was wrong to fall for another girl, but promises it won't happen again. The twin Brandy shrugs it off and suggests they go home to play horsey ride together, bringing another girl along. Stoner agrees, and the three prepare to have fun. Later, the twin heads to a club and invites a girl to join them, boasting about a hot guy tagging along. Another girl nearby overhears and eagerly agrees, making it a group of 4. Meanwhile, Max and the real Brandy grow closer, and she confesses she wants to be intimate with him, taking him back to her place. At the same time, the twin Brandy arrives with Stoner and the 2 girls, all ready to play horsey ride. But just then, Dr. Jones and Derek show up, knock out both Brandys, and take them to the lab. They tie them up, intending to prove that Jones's machine can clone humans. Max, searching for Brandy, soon learns that Dr. Jones knows about the twin and has imprisoned both in his lab. In the next scene, Dr. Jones orders Derek to keep an eye on the girls. They're supposed to be presented to scientists later. After Derek leaves, another doctor, Jones, appears and tells him to go away. This is actually a clone Max created to rescue the girls. Max arrives, unties them, and helps them escape. Meanwhile, in the conference room, the real Dr. Jones demonstrates his cloning machine using mice. Suddenly, he hears shouting from backstage and steps away to investigate. His clone takes his place on stage and insults the scientists, calling them donkeys. The real Jones soon realizes the girls have escaped and orders their recapture. His clone slips away, and the real Jones returns, attempting to showcase his mouse clone, but the machine malfunctions. Desperate, he claims his assistant, Max, successfully cloned a human. The girls are brought in, but they reveal the truth. They've been twins since birth, and Jones is lying. They even accuse him of cloning himself. As chaos erupts, the president denies any human cloning took place, until Jones's clone walks in, shocking everyone. Since human cloning is illegal, Dr. Jones is arrested. Months later, Max becomes a famous scientist, cloning animals while working alongside Brandy, now his girlfriend. Her twin is happily with Henry, spending all their time playing horsey ride. In the final scene, Dr. Jones's clone takes the stage one last time, shouting, "You're all donkeys," and with that, the story ends.